thing that ever happened, like all across the board? Like it could be anything. Like what was your favorite thing that ever happened on set in the past seasons?
Whoa.
Those are one of those questions that are hard. You got to think about it.
When did you join the show, Misha? What was that, season 4?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, first 3 seasons.
I saw it coming too, but it was still kind of funny.
Yeah. Favorite thing on set?
That may be my favorite moment right there.
Open doors. You know, I'd have to say that mine were always working with Chad Lindbergh, because he just, working with him the first, because I didn't know, we all came into the same episode at the same time to Supernatural, and you know, I read this Ash character, but I really had no idea who was going to be cast in it and who was going to do it, and they finally had to get, like when the camera's on you, the other actor doesn't really have to, you know, get right into it. They can just, well, they don't throw, you know, they don't just say the lines, but they can dial it back a bit, because there's no point in them going all wild. And with Chad, they just had to tell him to say his lines, because I couldn't stop. I mean, he had some of the greatest lines ever. He really did. The whole party in the business in the front, party in the back, and just the way he really owned that. I mean, you guys missed it. We shot that first scene where you're introduced to Ash. It was so. They gave him a different direction. They went back and reshot it because they wanted to bring him back a bit. But when they first shot it, he was over. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen, and I just could never do anything without laughing. And they're finally like, Chad, we got to get this done. And she's laughing, so just say the line. So eventually he would just literally look at it, and even then it was hard. So I loved working with him. He's one of my best buddies, and he was so much fun. That's mine.
I think for me, although this may shock you, that my favorite scene was not actually in the back seat of the Metallic car, but it was working with Amy Gumenik on when we were fighting. That was so much fun. I was like that was my favorite episode to shoot. I got to like throw people into walls and into like the windshield and fight, and I was just in heaven. Anyway, that was
no hard
my...
feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings.
I like the scene where I got to smash Crowley into the wall. We shot it. It was perfect. They got it perfectly. And they were ready to move on, and I was like, I could use another one.
We went through that wall. There were 6 guys behind that wall, and 3 of them went 15 feet.
We actually really hit it hard. Yeah.
Rewind it and watch it. That's like, oh man.
Yeah. I had one really fun night for some reason was, I don't even know what episode it was, but we were in a field. It was me, Jared, and Jensen in a field, and it was it's so romantic.
Just dreaming. It did never happen. It's just his head.
It was just so lovely. It's the night. It's on the gag reel. It's where we're doing pirouettes and leaping around in the field. And that was the same night that I put on also in the gag reel, the worm stash. And the same night, I got Phil, the director, presented me with a miniature Stonehenge that he had the art department make, and it was really well done. It was an entire Stonehenge on a sheet of plywood with the field, and the whole thing was really artfully done. And he had the cameras rolling, and then said, Misha, come over here, I want to show you something. And the whole crew was sort of mocking me. And the funny thing about the Stonehenge too was Phil's like, so, you know, you can take it home. What am I gonna do with this 8, it's 4x8 Stonehenge? Like, where am I gonna put that in my apartment in Vancouver? That's
not on top of your car.
Yeah. Great idea. Anyway, that was one fun night for some reason.
I've had so many really fun experiences on this show. I mean, it's, what is it, like 50 something episodes I guess I've done, and it's they've been so much fun, but trying to think of a good answer for the question, I thought, well, I'll just go backwards chronologically, and probably the most fun I've had recently was doing the scenes with Ellen in our kitchen.
Yeah, that was pretty emotional. We were crying.
We had a really good time doing that.
Yeah.
And it was nice to play that whole other kind of imaginary side of the character and to imagine the characters in that relationship. And that was a lot of fun. It was a whole lot
Well, you
of
got
fun.
to play, you know, you weren't just the tough Bobby, you were this emotional man that was losing the love of your life, and yeah, it was cool. We were both crying. It was great. It felt good. It was wonderful. Nice. Thank you.
Well, that is a great question to end all of our Supernatural panelists.
Leave them in the chat. This is my favorite. We're gonna do this at every convention now because it's fun. No, wait,
No,
okay.
okay.
Don't tell them.
Well, do they need the whole story or just 1, 2, 3, douche?
Tell the story.
What was the story?
I can tell the story because I've heard it now.
No, we were talking about how.
You were talking dirty. You were swearing.
Oh
and
no,
you said that's not a bad word.
when I'm tired, I guess I swear a lot, and I was on the Stargate panel, and Patrick turned to me and said, "This is not a truck stop." And then I said how he played a great douche on The Killing, and then, you know, I just yelled douche on 3, okay?
On 3,
Ready?
yeah.
1, 2, 3, douche!
Don't you love that that's
It's
a
a
room full
great
of douche? You never get that anywhere else. And it's not really a swear word if you think about it. It's not. It's an apparatus.
It's really fun in your mouth.
It's something that cleans out a vagina for those of you that don't know what a douche is. Some of you have tried one. We know what it looks like. Well, the
Girls have killed Jim.
Sorry, Beaver.
I've had Cialis panels these last 4 days. Explain it later. Mark Shephard told me to swallow. And now we've been yelling douche twice. And I think we really want to thank all the Supernatural guests for being here.